This is a study of 2 Samuel chapters 20 and 21. In these final chapters of this book, we are beginning to see David make some errors of judgment, and we are beginning to see the unified house of the 12 tribes, beginning to fall apart. Chapter 20, verse 1. And there happened to be there a man, Belial, whose name was Sheba, the son of Bichri, a Benjamite, and he blew a trumpet and said, We have no part in David, neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse, every man to his tents, O Israel. Now, this is the beginning of the divided house, the 10 tribes called Israel, and then the house of Judah that remained in the south. This will happen in about 50 years. Belial, for your information, means shameful. 2. So every man of Israel went up from after David and followed Sheba, the son of Bichri, but the men of Judah clave unto their king from Jordan even to Jerusalem. So the house of Judah stays with David, and David, of course, is of the house of Judah. 3. And David came to his house at Jerusalem, and the king took the 10 women, his concubines, whom he had left to keep the house, and put them inward, and fed them, but went not in unto them. So they were shut up in the day of their death, living in widowhood. So he had left those 10 concubines behind, and it was prophesied back in the 12th chapter when he took a man's wife in private that his would be taken publicly, and these are those 10. And Ahithophel, who turned on David, told Absalom to go in to the concubines, and it was very public as it was on a roof. 4. Then said the king to Amasa, Assemble me the men of Judah within 3 days, and be thou here present. Now, it was Amasa who led Absalom's army. Is this going to be a wise decision? 5. So Amasa went to assemble the men of Judah, but he tarried longer than the set time which he had appointed him. 6. And David said to Abishai, that's Joab's brother, his other nephew, Now shall Sheba the son of Bichri do us more harm than did Absalom? Take thou thy Lord's servants and pursue after him, lest he get him fenced cities and escape us. So David has asked Joab's men to follow Amasa, and now he's realized that Amasa could be dangerous, and he will not want him to get into a fenced or a walled city, which will be difficult to breach. 7. And there went out after him Joab's men, and the Sherethites, and the Pelethites, and all the mighty men, and they went out of Jerusalem to pursue after Sheba the son of Bichri. Now the Kerethites were persons who executed orders of command, and the Pelethites were messengers. They were David's bodyguards. When there were At the great stone which is in Gibeon, Amasa went before them, and Joab's garment that he had put on was girded unto him, and upon it a girdle with a sword fastened upon his loins in the sheath thereof, and as he went forth it fell out. Oh, do we think that was an accident that the sword fell out? 9. And Joab said to Amasa, Art thou in help, my brother? And Joab took Amasa by the beard with the right hand to kiss him. So he has made a false gesture of friendship. 10. But Amasa took no heed to the sword that was in Joab's hand. So he smote him therewith in the 5th rib, and shed out his bowels to the ground, and struck him not again, and he died. So Joab and Abishai his brother pursued after Sheba, the son of Bichri. So he's going after Sheba, and Amasa has been put out of the way. Jealousy, maybe. They had a right to be angry. Later on in Kings, we find out that Solomon had said that Joab won't go to the grave with white hair, and he was later ordered to be killed by Solomon, who is David's son. And when Amasa wallowed in blood in the midst of the highway, and when the man saw that all the people stood still, he removed Amasa out of the highway into the field and cast a cloth upon him, when he saw that every one that came by him stood still. So they were stopping because of the dead body in the road, and he was moved aside. 13. When he was removed out of the highway, all the people went on after Joab, and gathered together and went also, went on after Joab to pursue after Sheba, the son of Bichri. Number 14. And he went through all the tribes of Israel unto Abel, to Beth-maachah, and all the Beerites, and they were gathered together and went also after him. That Beth-maachah means the house of oppression, and Abel means a meadow. These are others who joined in this army to pursue Sheba. 15. And they came and besieged him in Abel of Beth-maachah, and they cast up a bank against the city, and it stood in a trench, and all the people that were with Joab battered the wall to throw it down. So what they've done is make kind of an earthenworks to move up to the wall of the city and to cross it. So they have are making a plan to breach this walled city. 16. Then cried a wise woman out of the city, Hear, hear, say, I pray you, unto Joab, Come near hither, that I may speak to thee. And this is a woman who is going to prevent some deaths, and she is going to give us a Bible lesson. 17. And when he was come near unto her, the woman said, Art thou Joab? And he answered, I am he. Then she said unto him, Hear the words of thy handmaid. And he answered, I do hear. 18. Then she spake, saying, they were wont to speak in old time, saying, They shall surely ask counsel at Abel. So they ended the matter. And it means if you want wisdom, it was said in old times, ask one of Abel. 19. Then she spake, saying, they were wont, 19. I am one of them that are peaceable and faithful in Israel. Thou seekest to destroy a city and a mother in Israel. Why wilt thou swallow up the inheritance of the Lord? She's saying, we didn't ask Sheba to come here. And if that word mother, it's a mother city in Israel. It means it's a large city. And the smaller cities that surrounded the larger cities, villages, were called daughters. So she is saying, why are you going to cause a lot of bloodshed when you're only after one person, Sheba? 20. And Joab, excuse me, and Joab answered and said, far be it from me that I should swallow up and destroy. And Deuteronomy 20, 10 through 14, we can learn the lesson that was taught here. 21, the matter is not so, but a man a man of Mount Ephraim, Sheba, the son of Bichri by name, hath lifted up his hand against the king, even against David. Deliver him only, and I will depart from the city. And the woman said unto Joab, behold, his head shall be thrown to thee over the wall. So she is going to take care of seeing that they get proof of the death of Sheba. 22. Then the woman went unto all the people in her wisdom, and they cut off the head of Sheba, the son of Bichri, and cast it out to Joab, and he blew a trumpet, saying it's over with that signal. And they retired from the city, every man to his tent. And Joab returned to Jerusalem as to the king. 23. Now Joab was over all the host of Israel, and Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, was over the Cherethites and over the Pelethites. 24. And Adroram was over the tribute, and Jehoshaphat, the son of Ahilud, was the recorder. Now, the tribute would have been a person who collected taxes, and Jehoshaphat would have been a recorder, a person who kept the history. And Sheba was scribe, and Zadok and Abiathar were the priest. The priesthood was split. Zadok was in the temple with and Abiathar was with David, two high priests at that time. 26 to complete this chapter. And Ira also, the Jairite, was a chief ruler about David. So this is a list of the officers in David's camp. Chapter 21. Then there was a famine in the days of David 3 years, year after year, and David inquired of the Lord, and he would have done that through the Urim and Thummim, the stones that were in the breastplate of the priest. And the Lord answered, It is for Saul and for his bloody house, because he slew the Gibeonites. The Gibeonites were the third stop after they crossed the Jordan River. And David here would be about 58 years old. 2. And the king called the Gibeonites and said unto them, Now the Gibeonites were not of the children of Israel, but the remnant of Amorites. And the children of Israel had sworn unto them, and Saul sought to slay them in his zeal, to take the children of Israel and Judah. Now, if they were told, if you recall, that they were to get rid of all the Canaanites, but these Gibeonites, they were actually lived close by, but they put on old shoes and made their clothes old and made it appear as if they had come a long, long way away. And they said to those who crossed the Jordan, Moses, they said, just let us be with you and we'll serve you. And that was, of course, a mistake, but it was an agreement that was made. 3. Wherefore David said unto the Gibeonites, What shall I do for you? And wherewith shall I make the stonement that ye may bless the inheritance of the Lord? Why didn't he ask God? He asked the Gibeonites what they wanted. 4. And the Gibeonites said unto him, We will have no silver nor gold of Saul, nor of his house, neither for us shalt thou kill any man in Israel. And he said, Well, what shall you say that will I do for you? 5. And they answered the king, The man that consumed us and that devised against us that we should be destroyed from remaining in any of the coast of Israel. And that was no one but Saul. 6. Let 7 of his sons be delivered unto us, and we will hang them up unto the Lord in Gibeah of Saul, whom the Lord did choose. And the king said, I will give them. This is David. Has he asked God what to do? No, he has not. 7. But the king spared Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, because the Lord's oath was between them, between David and Jonathan, the son of Saul. Remember, Mephibosheth was a crippled child. He was a grandson of Saul, and he was spared in 1 Samuel chapter 20:15. And David had sworn to show him favor, and he lived in the palace. 8. But the king took 2 sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Ahiah, whom she bare unto Saul, Armoni and Mephibosheth, and the 5 sons of Michal, the daughter of Saul, whom she brought up for Adriel, the son of Barzillai, the Meholathite. Now, Mephibosheth has been given here. Now, this is an heir. Michal, the first wife of David, Remember, she laughed and made fun of David when he came in with the ark, and she bore no sons. None at all. This would have been Meriah rather than Michal. 9. And he delivered them unto the hands of the Gibeonites, and they hanged them in a hill before the Lord, and they fell all 7 together, and were put to death in the day of harvest, in the first days, in the beginning of barley harvest. And of course, Mephibosheth was among the 7. Now, the harvest there would have been the first fruits, and it was the barley harvest in good times. It was fed to animals as there was a famine. For 3 years, they are very likely eating the barley. So it would have been in mid-April. 10. And Rizpah, the daughter of Ahiah, took sackcloth and spread it for her upon the rock from the beginning of harvest until water dropped upon them out of heaven, and suffered neither the birds of the air to rest on them by day, nor the beast of the field by night. So she has protected these dead bodies. They are, of course, supposed to be put into, removed and buried by nightfall. Now, when that rain fell, it would be the end of this harvest, of this famine. 11. And it was told David what Rizpah, the daughter of Ariah, the concubine of Saul, had done. 12. And David went and took the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan, his son, from the men of Jabesh Gilead, which had stolen them from the street of Bethshan, where the Philistines had hanged them, when the Philistines had slain Saul in Gilboa. When the Philistines killed Saul and Jonathan, they tacked them up to a wall, and the people of Jabesh Gilead risked their lives to go in and to get the bodies of Saul and Jonathan. So David has gone to get these bones. 13. And he brought up from thence the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan his son, and they gathered the bodies of them that were hanged. 14. And the bones of Saul and Jonathan his son buried they in the country of Benjamin in Selah, in the sepulchre of Kish his father, and they performed all that the king commanded, and after that God was entreated for the land. So God lifted the famine. And Kish, of course, was the father of Saul, and they went into the country of Benjamin because Saul was a Benjamite. 15. Moreover, the Philistines had yet war again with Israel, and David went down, and his servants with him, and fought against the Philistines, and David waxed faint. 16. And Abishbenob, which was the sons of the giant, the weight of whose spear weighed 300 shekels of brass in weight, and he, being girded with a new sword, thought to have slain David. And this, of course, would have been descendants from the second influx of fallen angels who commingled with human women to produce these giants called Gibber in the Hebrew. 17. But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, succored or helped him and smote the Philistine and killed him. Then the man of David sware unto him, saying, Thou shalt go no more out with us to battle, that thou quench not the light of Israel. Saved. He's killed the Philistine. 18. And it came to pass after this that there was again a battle with the Philistines at Gob, when Sibashai the Hushathite slew Saph, which was one of the sons of the giant. 19. And there was slain a battle in Gob with the Philistines, where Elhanan, the son of Jaari or Eagam, a Bethlehemite, slew the brother of Goliath, the Gittite, the staff of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. So they are large, they're giants, and their weapons are huge. And there was 20, yet a battle in Gath, that's the homeland of Goliath, where was a man of great stature that had on every hand 6 fingers, and every foot 6 toes, and 24 in number, and he also was born to the giant. They are hybrid and unnatural because they are a mix of fallen angels and humans, and they are non-human-like in many ways, these giants. 21. And when he defied Israel, Jonathan the son of Shimei, the brother of David, slew him. 22. These 4 were born to the giant in Gath, and fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants. This is the end of chapter 21. In the next lesson, we will likely be able to complete this book of 2 Samuel, chronicling the kingship of David, and also the very last time that Israel was, all 12 tribes were together. We will have some offspring of David who will split this nation into 2 parts, north and south. Never since that time have these 2 sticks been joined, but there is a prophecy that the 2 sticks will be joined together in the millennium. Thank you for listening.